All right, stage 13.
Bourg d'Oisans?
Bourg d'Oisans.
Le Bourdoisan.
What? Hit it again?
Le Bourdoisan.
Le Bourg...
No. Stage 17.
Paragoudes?
Péragude.
What? How are they making that noise?
We'll just call it stage 17.
I don't eat enough baguettes.
Maybe we should just start with the bikes of the Tour de France. Or we'll let the French speakers deal with it.
I like bikes.
All right, let's do the bikes. I'm Spencer.
I'm Bruce.
This is Shop Talk. Before we get into our Tour de France bikes, Bruce, who's our sponsor this week for the show?
Well, this week we have a very special sponsor. It's us again.
Pros Closet is the best place to find certified pre-owned bikes, isn't it?
Definitely. We have a massive selection of road, gravel, mountain bikes, any sort of bike you're looking for.
Exactly. Go to theproscloset.com, find your dream bike, and ride your own Tour de France.
Yeah.
Tour de France is here. It's the biggest month of the year for pro road bike racing. I'm excited, Bruce. It's going to be awesome. And the cool thing about working here at the Pros Closet is we sell a lot of these bikes that you see racing around France. Maybe not this year's, but last year's or even the year before that.
Yeah, totally. And today we got 3 bikes, and these 3 bikes are pretty special because they make up about half of the stage wins from last year's TDF.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and this year about 7 of the 22 teams are going to be riding them also.
That's impressive because if you think about it, Bruce, there's such a range of different terrain at the Tour de France where you have flat stages with fast sprints, you have high alpine climbs through the mountains, you got time trials, all this other stuff. So it's kind of amazing that there's only 3 bikes that are so prolific in the race.
Yeah, and the first bike we have here, this is the type of bike you're going to use for those sort of flat sprint stages you're talking about. What do we have? We got a Canyon Aeroad CF SL.
That's right, Bruce. Canyon Aeroad is their pure aero race bike, and for that reason it's favored by Mathieu van der Poel, who won stage 2 of the Tour de France last
That's right,
year.
he went into yellow.
Went into the yellow jersey for a few days. He's an amazing all-around classics rider with a fast finish, so that's why an aero bike works really well for him. Very stiff rear triangle for the power transfer when you're putting down 4-digit watts. It's a cool bike, and it's also interesting, Bruce, because I feel like a lot of brands are moving away from the pure aero road bike.
Definitely, definitely. There are some brands, trying to make an all-rounder bike that does it all, but Canyon, they've stuck with the, deep tubes with the Aeroad, which I kind of like. They look cool.
Drop stays, deep tubes, integrated bar stem. It looks very badass. So this year, Arkea Samsic, Movistar, and Alpecin are all going to be riding Canyon bikes, so you'll definitely see them riding an Aeroad, one of the more modern versions of the Aeroad, but it's very similar to what you find here.
Bike number 2, we're going to move into a climbing bike.
Let's do it.
Star Swipe.
Bike number 2, like Bruce said, is a pure climber. This is Cervelo's R5. If the Canyon Aeroad was, say, a Tiesto track from Ibiza, this is a Bruce Springsteen, where it's just a pure classic bike. It doesn't have any of those aero nonsense or any of the shape tubes or that baloney, right, Bruce?
Oh, sure, yeah, I didn't know where that was going, but I get it. Totally get it.
All right, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad it made sense.
This was ridden by my man. He's on my TDF fantasy team, Wout van Aert.
Wout van Aert. You know what's amazing? Everybody talks about Wout van Aert being the classics guy, being the sprinter, being the cyclocross champion, which for sure he is, and understandably that's his claim to fame, but he won a mountain stage on Mont Ventoux aboard Cervelo R5 last year.
Yeah, and then his teammate Sepkus,
yes,
got one too.
Coloradan kid living in Durango. It was really cool to see him win his first Tour de France stage last year, stage 15. What do we got for features on this bike, Bruce?
Well, really the highlight is this ultralight carbon frame. You see you got these super thin seat stays. You got great ride quality, but it's got the classic laterally stiff, vertically compliant. Feels great, especially on these high alpine roads.
Yeah, I would ride it. It looks like a great bike. All right, Bruce, one more bike to go. I think it's a big one, isn't it?
The all-rounder and perhaps the ultimate all-rounder. It's the Specialized S-Works Tarmac SL7.
The Tarmac SL7 is so prolific, Bruce. What's special about this bike?
Well, Specialized really wanted to make the ultimate all-rounder. That means a bike that can climb, but it's also nice and efficient for those flat sprint stages. And they did a pretty good job. This bike is so efficient, it's nearly as fast as the old Venge. It actually killed the old Venge.
Rest in peace.
Farewell.
Hey, it goes to show in the results, right? Mark Cavendish won 4 stages on this bike, pure sprint stages, and then you'll see it racing through the high mountains just the same. I mean, it's remarkable, the engineering that went into this bike. Dropped seat stays for aerodynamics and comfort, got a little shaping on these stays, just a little bit, and then the front end, of course, super sleek integrated fork with the head tube, aerodynamic bars. The whole shebang is just fast, fast, fast. And there's a lot of teams on this bike too.
Yeah, I think, 3 teams?
3 teams, but they're pretty good teams, Total Energy, Quick Step, Bora. These are legit teams. I mean, Bora just won the Giro d'Italia for crying out loud, and SL7 was right there with them. One last thing, Bruce. Tour de France, amazing history, right?
Oh, yeah.
And there's amazing bike history that goes along with it too.
I think we got one of those bikes that might have been in one of the old editions of the Tour de France.
These carbon bikes are nice and all, but they just don't have that je ne sais quoi. Let's check it out.
Is this a Huffy, Spencer?
You'd be excused for thinking it was, but in fact, back in the day, the 7-Eleven team had Ben Serotta build most of their frames, and they rebadged them with the Huffy logo. So, yeah, we get that joke a lot, but this is a super cool race-ridden Tour de France time trial bike ridden by Raoul Alcala in the 1988 Tour de France.
Yeah, and what's cool is that was before the UCI sort of clamped down on this funny bike design.
That's right.
Yeah, really interesting. They used a 650B front wheel to get the front end super low, really aero.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of a
700C disc in the back. This is it would be a little bit of a wild ride. You'd have to take care on those corners, but Raoul Alcala, that was his last year with the 7-Eleven team, Spanish rider nicknamed the Goblin. And, it's a pretty cool time trial bike. It wasn't like he was a ace time trialist. He didn't have any amazing results in that tour, but the technology, though, it's really cool because they didn't have a lot to work with. This is true temper steel, so they had to get shaped tubes to achieve a little bit of the aerodynamics.
Yep, it's a nice airfoil shape there.
Exactly, and like you said, making that front wheel a little smaller, it does provide a bit of an advantage, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But, those days are gone. Now you have to have the same size wheels front and rear. Pretty lame.
Too many rules. Too many
rules. But cool piece of history from the 80s Tour de France.
Yeah, I love these Coca-Cola bottles.
Yes, but it probably will give you cancer, so don't drink out of it. Well, Bruce, what do you think? You're going to go ride the Tour de France. What bike are you bringing with you?
Ooh, I think I am going to bring whatever bike I can ride up to the side of the road, grab a beer, and watch the race.
So an e-bike.
Oh, I like that idea.
Maybe that's one for next year. E-bike Tour de France. People like that.
Let us know what you think about that in the comments. I want to hear that.
People love e-bikes.
I'm sure it'll be totally civil.
Leave a comment, like this video, share it, subscribe to our channel, please. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.
Now at this point, people might be wondering, well, where's the winner's bike, right?
Good point, Bruce. We're kind of having a hard time getting our hands on those Colnagos. Everyone's out there buying these bikes and not selling to us.
All those mammals and their Google alerts,
hey, listen,
just scoop them up.
If you got a Colnago sitting in your basement you need to get rid of, you sell it to us. And we'll put it on the next show for the Tour de France. Help us out a little.
I like that.